All right, everybody. It is day 28 of Awards Season Review Season 2, and I am kicking off based on a true story week. That's right. All of this week's films are inspired by true events in history. Now, before I jump in, I had some friends ask me why I start each new theme week on a Tuesday instead of a Sunday or a Monday. So I wanted to address that really quickly in case anyone else had the same query. As a film fan and a collector, way back in the days before almost everything was available on streaming, I used to love looking forward to Tuesdays, and my weeks began there because that was new release day. That was when I could buy my DVDs or my Blu-rays and or my VHS. That was the day that films got released. So Tuesday was always a special day for me. So that's why I always decided to start, my weeks on the Tuesday. So there you have it. In case you were wondering, that's why. So now we move on to Based on a True Story Week. And first up is A24's The Iron Claw. Now, this film for me, if you saw my post, was my number 3 film of the year of 2023 behind Saltburn and The Holdovers. Written and directed by Sean Durkin, The Iron Claw to date, as of this recording, has a box office take of $18,221,133 domestically, and I guess worldwide. It has some international release dates set up for next month, but all we have are domestic dollars. Now, award season wise, this one unfortunately is a little light. A24 must have been putting the majority of its resources behind past lives. However, The Iron Claw has received two National Board of Review recognitions. It was recognized as one of the top films of 2023, and it was also the winner for Best Ensemble. Oscar wise, I will expand on that a little later, but there are several categories that I feel this film not only could, but should fall into. So, getting into it. The Iron Claw is the story of the famed Von Erich wrestling family. Now, for those in my generation, I grew up with the Von Erichs, and I remember watching them on Saturday mornings on World Class Championship Wrestling. This film tells the story of the family at their peak. Now, without spoiling too much, the patriarch of the family, Jack, also known as Fritz von Erich, who is played by Holt McCallany, is a former wrestling star. Fritz, not the actor, who founded the WCCW, and he had his sons, come up along in the same way. While not the career path originally planned for all of them, following in the footsteps was something that ultimately they did. Now, the film focuses primarily on four of the original six brothers: Kevin, played by Zac Efron, Harry, played by Jeremy Allen White, David, played by Harris Dickinson, and Mike, played by Stanley Simons. Now, despite all of the talents the Von Erich boys had, tragically, they are not all still with us today. And this is the journey that the film takes us on from their humbler wrestling beginnings to, well, suffice it to say, for some of them, the end. For those unfamiliar, I don't want to go into too many details regarding each one, but there is a reason, in history, and even the film references the superstition of a Von Erich curse. Now, I have to say, all of the performances in this film are solid. Is in the lead position, and this is, in my opinion, one of his strongest performances of his career. Kevin, he sees not only what is happening with his family, but what they're going through and what a rough trail that, they're all kind of going on to see, is this really the best career path for them or not? There are other interests, and supporting him are the other brothers. Now, of the three other brothers in the film, Dickinson and White stand out the brightest. Their cocky attitudes and the way they paint images of David and Carrie, respectively, do make for an engaging watch. And McCallany, as Fritz, their father, gives us, you don't know if villain is the right word I want to use, because even, Kevin Von Erich in real life has said that the film takes some liberties, but he definitely gives us an antagonist to root against. Um, because again, we're watching a film, not a documentary, although those lines are a little difficult to see in certain scenes. I'll get there in a moment. But whether we are watching one of the scenes from what's happening in the lives of the family members, or watching a recreation of one of the backstage interviews before they go in for a match, or even the wrestling scenes themselves, their commitment is all so strong, you cannot take your eyes off of the screen. At a runtime of just over 2 hours, save the credits, the film moves at a very crisp pace, choosing to focus on the key years of the family as opposed to getting lost in years and years of backstory. Now, this is a testament to Durkin's writing. Also, the stunt work in the matches is incredible. The stunt coordinator, former professional wrestler Chavo Guerrero Jr., creates such realistic moments that you forget you're watching a movie and you think you're watching the wrestling matches from the 80s. The actors have spoken about the training they went through, and clearly it did its job and is right at the forefront. Now, this was a late film released theatrically this year, and as a result, as I said before, hasn't received a lot of award season buzz. That doesn't mean that it couldn't still come to fruition as Oscar nominations roll out. In my mind, Efron should be a contender for Best Actor. It is a strong year, so I don't know if he will make that cut. But outside of the performance and the acting, Durkin, I think, should be a contender for his script in the original screenplay category because of the way he took all these years and really focused in on one story. Also, given what I said regarding the wrestling scenes, I feel that Matthias Erdely's name should be in the conversation for cinematography and Matthew Hannum's name for the editing. These two created some wonderful images together, and I truly feel that even though it's a feature film I'm watching, there was almost a documentary type feel, which only added to the engagement of what I was watching on screen. Now, also, not an Oscar category, and maybe it should, but the SAG Awards do have their nominations coming out next week, and every year they give an award for the outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture. And I hope that the Iron Claw, if doesn't win, at least gets recognized here for that stunt work. Over the last several years, that award has gone to more of the bigger action films, but I think a film like this is a strong contender for that. So, there it is. What a better way to kick off based on a true story week than with the Iron Claw, which I give my coveted and rare 5 out of 5 stars. This film has it all and is definitely one to see if you haven't seen already. But to do so, you have to head out to the theaters where the film is exclusively playing. There is no information currently to date of a streaming or a digital release date as this time. All right. So stick with me as we continue based on a true story week. And we are almost a third of the way through these award season reviews, my season two. I mean, I have a lot more to come, but we're almost a third of the way there. Please subscribe to the channel if you like what you hear, if you haven't already, and get the word out. Help me get a few more subscribers. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and compare movie reviews with me on Letterboxd. Also, if you haven't yet, head over to my Facebook page and check out the Where Can I Watch This Spreadsheet 2023 edition to see how you can watch all of the films nominated for every category and every award season, track the winners, follow along with the calendar, and get all of that awesome cinematic goodness. All right. See everyone tomorrow. And until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying, take a break and watch something new.